Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Mundane Matt, and the internet rarely ever gets along, right? I think we all can agree. The internet is so full of many vast and different and sometimes amazing ideas that we often conflict with one another for a multitude of reasons, and as a result, nothing ever actually gets accomplished. Except for yesterday, right? Yesterday, it came together, and it was perfect, and it was wonderful, and it was amazing. Pepsi Cola, right? The second of all soft drinks out there. I fucking hate Pepsi, to be fucking fair. It tastes like Coca-Cola backwash. But the point is, Pepsi released a new commercial yesterday, all about inclusivity and activism and fighting back against the system and overcoming oppression and and it all centered around Kendall Jenner, a person with less personality than The Rock right outside my front fucking door. But anyway, this particular ad ran in two flavors. You had the 30-second ad that was shared on Twitter, that was mocked heavily on Twitter, and then you also had the 2-minute 40-second commercial or kind of movie trailer that ran on YouTube. Now, the 2-minute 40-second version of this thing is just horrible. All right, it's just a bunch of people protesting something, anything. We don't really know because they're not really protesting. They're just kind of walking through the streets, random musicians playing, random people dancing. Not really a protest. Because they're not mad. They're not trying to change anything. They're just kind of doing a walking party. Can't really fault them. It looks like a fair amount of fun, right? But you have one dude playing I think it was a cello or something, and he drinks a Pepsi, and he's like, I'm gonna go out there and see what's going on. And then he's walking past, Kendall Jenner, and she's in a blonde wig at a photo shoot, and she's looking around, kind of confused, perplexed. It's the first time she ever saw poor people up close, and she doesn't know how to react. Then the Asian dude walks by and kind of gives her the subtle, "Sup, girl? You want in on this activism shit?" And then she's like, "Yeah. Here, black girl next to me, hold my wig." And then out goes Kendall Jenner in a dress. Then magically, Kendall Jenner is dressed down in a denim jacket and a white shirt and jeans, holding a Pepsi, walking through the crowd, everyone acknowledging that she's kind of the queen bee. I'd argue that Beyonce fans were pretty upset at that. And then it gets to the fucking the cream of the cake. Everyone gets to the fucking to the edge of the protest, right? And there's all these cops there for some reason. Again, we don't know what they're protesting. Is it civil unrest? Is it another black man that's been shot? Is it Trump doing something with pussy and hats? And I don't fucking know. We don't know either. But then Kendall Jenner walks over, saunters up to an officer, and is like, "Sup, dog? Have a Pepsi." And the guy's like, "Well, all right," and takes a fucking sip of it. And he's like, "It's pretty fucking good." And then everyone cheers. And then, of course, it cuts to the end of the trailer where they're walking, all in line and walking slowly towards the camera. And the tagline, "Live Bolder," comes across the screen. 2 minutes and 40 seconds of my life I'll never get back. And in fact, I believe my description of the trailer probably was longer than the actual trailer or commercial. It was a well-shot thing. It just made no fucking sense. But again, this is an advertisement for Coca-Cola. But a lot of people, and by that I mean pretty much everybody, didn't care for it and made sure to mock it excessively. They were drawing parallels between the old, protests in the 60s where you had the hippie walk over and put like daisies in the tips of the guns. In this case, it's a Kendall Jenner, not Kylie Jenner, but Kendall Jenner, holding a can of Pepsi and giving it to a cop. Like, "Are you thirsty, dog? This goes great with donuts," And it just made no fucking sense. It turned this kind of like culture protest thing and made it all about one of the Jenners. And I don't know about you, but I am sick and fucking tired of the Jenners. All right. I've had personal experience talking to Kris Jenner, and I can tell you with absolutely no uncertainty, she is one of the most horrible people I have ever had the displeasure of speaking to on the phone. I had to take an order from her once. It was fucking horrible. But her family is very much like the same thing. They're American royalty, which makes it really funny that they were brought, at least one of the more unknown ones was brought to the forefront of this activism campaign. And the memes are fantastic. People photoshopping in can of Pepsi in Tiananmen Square. People putting it in on the "I have a dream" speech. It's fucking great that everyone was mocking this because it was ridiculous. Some called it tone deaf. Everyone else has called it stupid. I don't use the term tone deaf very often, but it is one that I would probably argue seems about right for this. It doesn't, because to me, I didn't know what they were protesting. Again, what elements of civil unrest are we talking about here, right? All I really noticed in this entire thing was a whole bunch of attractive people all walking together on the streets. I mean, shit, I lived in LA for 3 years. Trust me, I saw this on a daily basis. This is nothing that really kind of sent any message. And as a result of it, Pepsi actually ended up pulling the advert entirely. And they issued this as a response. Pepsi was trying to project a global message of unity, peace, and understanding. Clearly, we missed the mark, and we apologize. We did not intend to make light of any serious issue. We are removing the content and halting any further rollout. We also apologize for putting Kendall Jenner in this position. The only apology for Kendall Jenner in any position is the one that her family put her in by birthing her. Come on, she was paid to be in a commercial. She was paid to be a model in a commercial that somehow shucks her modelly ways, but yet still looks immaculate when walking amongst the other immaculate-looking people doing kind of immaculate-looking things, like dancing randomly in the streets in unison, jamming to a fucking cello in unison with other people, and then also going to the front and giving a cop a soda. It's a horrible, horrible concept that, again, I would probably argue I do agree with the term tone deaf. There are people out there that have argued that this had a lot to do with mocking, like this was taking ideas, I should say, from Black Lives Matter. No, and once again, Black Lives Matter, please repeat after me. It's not all about you. And that's what tomorrow's videos are about. Some of the stuff you guys have been up to this week. But, Black Lives Matter is getting mad at this shit. Other activists are getting mad at this shit. And truth be told, everyone else was pretty much just laughing at the lunacy of it. This is the problem when corporations try to jump in to the activism game. It doesn't always work because they oftentimes don't understand that when it comes to this level of activism, it's so many people coming together for so many different things that they tend to fight over the oppression Olympics, right? And we see this in terms of social and civil activism. One of the things that shocked me ultimately about the Women's March was that it did encompass all of these different types of activism into one event, and there weren't any infighting. There wasn't any infighting that happened as far as I could tell. Now, will that continue going forward? Who fucking knows? But when you get down to it, this is all about oppression Olympics. It's one of the reasons why Black Lives Matter was upset. It's one of the reasons why other activism groups were upset at this, because they didn't feel like they were properly represented in this global unity project that happened to take place with a whole bunch of very attractive young people, admittedly, from different walks of life. So let's all take a moment and throw back our heads and laugh at Pepsi for screwing the pooch and completely tanking what appears to be a multi-million-dollar ad campaign. Now if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go back to drinking Coca-Cola because at least that tastes better than whatever the fuck Pepsi is made of. But what are your guys' thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments below. My name is, of course, Mundane Matt. If you guys haven't already, thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, check back daily for new content because I like to talk and hopefully you guys like to listen. If you want to know more about me, check out my vlog channel up here or 3 Buck Theaters right here. Check this one out. This one's good. This one's good. Content on movies. Subscribe. And also subscribe to this channel too. And I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day. Peace out.